Hey everybody, welcome to the Monday live stream. We'll wait a couple minutes for everybody to jump on here. We're going to be doing an unboxing. Hope everybody can hear me okay. I've actually got a couple boxes here, so what's up, Produce? How's the audio sound? I'm on a different computer. Sounds good? Okay, that's good. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I went to do this live stream about an hour ago, and I was editing a photo for my thumbnail, and my computer decided to crash on me, and my computer is broken. I don't know what's wrong with my computer. So I'm on my laptop right now. I got a little different setup, so if the quality isn't as good, that's why I'm trying to still do this live stream, but I'm doing it from my laptop right now, so it's a little tougher to do here to navigate. So I hope everything sounds good, everything looks good, and just let me know if something goes wrong or if it's too loud or anything like that. Well, yeah, it got really warm here a couple days ago in the 70s, and now it's back in the teens, so wearing the beanie and the hoodie inside, that didn't last too long. It was like a pretend spring and then back to winter. Yeah, I'm hoping I can fix the computer because that everything's on the computer. All my videos, everything's on there, so I really hope I can salvage it. But I have no idea what's wrong. I can't start it up. I can't get past the BIOS, so I'm going to have to ask some friends if they can help me do that. But I have a couple boxes to open today. So the first one, as most of you probably already know, is the Vegan Cuts box. And there it is, Vegan Cuts box. And for those of you that have seen all my other videos in the Vegan Cuts box, you could probably say what I'm about to say yourself without even listening to me say it. But the Vegan Cuts box is a subscription box. It's a snack box, so every month you get another box like this sent to you, and it comes with a bunch of snacks in it, sample size, so you can see if you like a new product or if you don't like a new product. You're not wasting your money on it, but if you do, I found several new vegan products throughout the years through the Vegan Cuts box, and every month they donate a certain percentage to a different animal sanctuary. So we'll bust out that box opening knife. We'll cut through the little tape there, and we'll find out what is inside. And then I'll show you what's inside. So this is the, right there, that's, I can't really, hope you guys can see that. Let me, if I'm going to watch the, I only have one screen here where I'm used to having a few screens on my computer, but this is what we got going on right there. Okay, so it's going towards an animal sanctuary, and on the back it shows everything that is inside the box. I don't like to look at that right away. I like to see what's inside myself and make it surprise, if you will. So this, I gotta say right off the bat, we'll find out why, but this is the heaviest one I think that I've ever received from Vegan Cuts. So let's go ahead. The first thing that I see is Bakery on Main. That's the name of the company. It's white chip raspberry swirl, so it looks like just like a granola there. Yeah, with the lighting reflecting off here, I don't know if it's optimal to show you like the ingredients, if you're going to be able to see that or not. Back to Nature, plant-based snacks. These are Chedalicious. They remind me of Cheez-Its. I used to have Cheez-Its when I was a little kid, so there we go. Yeah, the light is really, okay. Yeah, there we go. I got to hold it at an angle so we don't get that glare, the Glare Witch Project. Can't really see that. I could try turning the light around, but hold on one second. Let's see if I can turn that light around and still be able to see. More of a soft light there. See if that works a little better. Chedalicious. These look good. I'll snack on them some night. What is this? Thai bird sriracha. Thai bird sriracha. Welcome to the stream. If you're just joining us, we're doing an unboxing of the Vegan Cuts box. And we do have one other package too, which I'm not sure what's inside, so that's going to be a surprise too. These are snack bites. Dairy-free, gluten-free, crunchy rice. Yeah. So there we go. Hold on one second there. Sorry about that. Dang sticky rice chips? Dang. Coconut crunch. Coconut. I've never had these either. I haven't had any of the products so far. I haven't even seen them. So I've heard of the brand Dang, but dang. Artisana organic cashew cacao spread. Actually, I have some bottles, jars of this. It's pretty good downstairs, but this is a sample pack. It's the cashew cacao spread. They have like cashew butter. They have tahini, stuff like that. So, and it's pretty good. So, an extra little pack of that. What else do we have here? This is the reason why this box was so heavy. Minor Figures organic oat milk. Barista standard dairy-free drink. So an entire bottle there of oat milk. Right there. Nutrition facts. If you can see it on your screen. If you don't have a really small screen. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm not going to ever complain getting oat milk. I love oat milk. It's my favorite. I was never a fan of raisins as a child. Anybody else? They would be packed in every lunch I would get, and I don't understand why, because I didn't like them. But raisins, these are sours. These are a little bit different, so maybe these are a little bit better than regular raisins. Don't give raisins to dogs. They can't eat raisins or grapes. It'll put them in renal failure. Just shout out there because I got a couple doggies, but they're vegan friendly, and that's all we really need to look at. Okay, white rice medley, ancient grains, fried rice. I like this company. They got some good stuff, so I'm excited to try this because I haven't tried this yet. I haven't tried this actual product, but I've tried some of their other things. And it's made with ancient grains, gluten-free. I almost thought that said computer protein, but it's a complete protein, not a computer I've got computer problems, but not computer protein. And then 5 grams of fiber too. Non-GMO blend. A blend of non-GMO. Here's the other reason why it's so heavy. Fuel Mind. Rise Oat Milk Mocha. Nitro Cold Brew. Oh, I don't do the coffee, but look at that. Look at that. Who wants it? Just reach out through your screen and take this. Take this home with you. Nitro Cold Brew Rise Oat Milk Mocha. Now, I've never had coffee, so you be the judge of this. Do you think this is going to be good? I don't know. I can't really tell you on that one. And if you're hungry and there's nothing to eat, but you got this, you could have a hungry Buddha. Hungry Buddha right there. It's pixely. You might want to refresh it then, but it could be my stream. Sorry if the stream's pixely. Sorry if there's problems with the stream if you're just joining us. My computer broke and I'm on my laptop now, so I'm not used to the setup I got, and I honestly don't know what it looks like to you guys. Yeah, my computer decided to break on me about an hour ago when I was editing the thumbnail for this video. So that's why the thumbnail is so basic, because I had to do a screenshot on my Mac, and it just, oh man, I'm so sad that my computer died. A Wily Wallaby, soft and chewy, classic red, licorice. Does anyone like licorice? Not the black licorice. That tastes kind of weird. This is classic red, natural strawberry flavored licorice, soft and chewy. Boom. And that is the last of the products from the Vegan Cuts box. I'm excited about the oat milk, the rice here. I do want to try these, the Cheez-Its kind of, vegan Cheez-Its kind of thing. And I already know that this is good, so that's like a little surprise. I could even use that in a smoothie bowl or a smoothie, which I have a smoothie right here. It's almost gone. So we're done with the Vegan Cuts box. Now to look at the other box. All right, this one's kind of heavy too, so I'm excited to see what's in here, because this is from my friends over at Uptons Naturals. Uptons Naturals over in Chicago. So, you know, Uptons, they make the seitan, they got some of the jackfruit, and I've seen some other stuff that they've had, so I'm wondering what's in here. Let's see. Oh, nice. Upton's good soup. They've got right there, good soup. So they've got soup. Seriously, good soup. I wonder if there's soup in here. Oh my God, what if there's soup in here? I'm going to be so happy if there's soup in here. I was just talking about soup last night. Why was I? Oh yeah, I visited my parents and my dad was hungry, but he didn't know what to eat. And I'm like, Dad, have some soup. I made my mom some dinner last night, and I just threw stuff together. She loved it. She loved it. Okay, so what do we have here? We have mustache murder. It looks like murders, but it's mustache munchies. Look at that. It kind of looks like murder, but it's mustache munchies. Stylish little, they're like mustache crackers, like kind of like the fish crackers. I used to eat the fish crackers when I was a little kid, but then, you know, they weren't vegan, so I really wish they were, because that right there is nostalgia for me, because I used to get a little bag of those every Christmas until I went vegan. Mustache. Oh, we have the cheddarish flavors. I love the packaging too, and obviously everything with Upton's is vegan, and so of course. But we got Parmesan rosemary right there. And now this is why it's heavy, because of that. No, it's not that. I'm just kidding. It's because of this. Look at that. Chick tortilla soup. I can't read today. We have soup. Look at that. Watch me drop this on my laptop and break my laptop too. There it is. Vegan, obviously. We have the tortilla. We have the Italian wedding soup right there. And last but not least, oh, by the way, it's my anniversary for going vegetarian 31 years ago. So give or take a couple days. It was either the 14th, the 15th, or the 17th, if I remember right. I can't pin it down to an exact date, but sometime within these 3-4 days, I went vegetarian in 1990. So no meat for Chris for 31 years. I'm old. All right, and I'm not dead. Can you believe that? I'm not dead. Despite what some of these other people on the internet think. Chick and noodle. I think this is awesome. I love soup. I love making soup. If you don't want to make your own, you can buy it. You can buy your own soup. So I'm really excited. I'll definitely post these on my Instagram account and I'll definitely try them out. So good. And I told you guys a month ago or so that I was working on some vegan jerky, and I've been working on it. And I know what I did wrong because I made a batch a couple days ago, but they're way too crunchy. I dehydrated them too long, but I got a nice, really good tasting jerky. There's some in the dehydrator right now as we speak. I just gotta film the video for you guys, and there you go. Vegan jerky that I've been working on for a little bit there. That's it for me showing you guys what's in the box. I don't have any more boxes to open, so we can do a little Q&A real quick while I have your attention. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I'm not used to this computer. I stopped using this computer so long ago. Let's see. So one of my friends brought me into a chat room the other day, which I haven't been to, and I noticed, I just assume when people come here that like most of you are vegan or some of you are vegan, or at least everybody knows what it is. But it was brought to my attention again in one of these rooms that a lot of people there's still people that really just don't know anything about it. So I thought maybe I could do another veganism for noobs, for beginners video like that, because I think there's a lot of questions that we don't think about as vegans because it just comes natural to us. So, we just do it. But for other people that don't know, I think it's good to answer any questions. So if there are any newbie vegans here tonight, welcome to the chat. And this is always a judgment-free zone, so you can ask any questions. Just don't be rude, or I'll be rude right back. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, if you have any questions about veganism, don't be afraid. I don't even care how new it would sound or weird. It's not stupid. I mean, I guess maybe there are some stupid questions. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody says there's no stupid questions, but then somebody manages to do that. I don't know how I feel about that. But anyway, go ahead, ask a question if you have any questions and you're a newbie vegan or you want to go vegan. Wow. 31 years vegetarian, you were 2 years old. I wish. Thank you. No, I'm in my mid-40s. I think that's what so that was the funny part about the video that I just did. Responding to the anti-vegans out there that claim they're not anti-vegan, but they are, according to their logic, I should be a walking corpse right now. They love to talk about the name of my channel, The Vegan Zombie. It fits you so well, not knowing what my movie's about. When it comes out, they're going to be like, it's the meat eaters that are the zombies. The vegan zombie is a unique one. You'll see. By the way, exciting news. I've been talking to my team every week about the movie. It is finally going forward after the pandemic. I mean, this pandemic's technically still going on, but we are moving forward this year. And rain or shine, we're going to shoot it probably late August, early September. We still got to figure out exactly the breakdown of it. They're breaking down the script right now, budgeting it out, and I'm working. I got an assistant director, got a producer, and set design. So we are moving forward with it. Just so you guys that were supporters in the Kickstarter know, more information will go your way. When I'm not holding back any information. So when we know more, you will know more. So Just there's nothing you have to do. When it comes time, we will put updates in the Kickstarter so you guys will know, for the people that supported it and have some roles and stuff like that. Mandy, yeah, like I feel like if you look at something specific on YouTube, then it'll start giving you recommendations for that subject all over the place. Or if you talk about something, it'll give you recommendations on that wherever you go. So yeah, that seems pretty normal for YouTube. Lolly, thank you for the congrats, and also welcome to the channel. I appreciate you being here. Let's see. I have to admit that the chat that I'm reading is a lot smaller than I'm used to on like my big screen when I do these live streams. So I'm trying to read some of your questions here and not miss them. Yeah, last year was just like, what could we do? You know, there's nothing we could do. You know, if that didn't happen, the movie already would have been filmed last year, but it didn't happen, and maybe that was for a reason. Maybe, you know, now that we've regrouped, it's going to be even better than it would have been. I don't know, but we are moving forward with it, and I'm excited about it. So for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, we did a Kickstarter, a crowdfunder for the movie that I wrote 13 years ago when I started this channel, and we raised a good amount of money to do that, and we're moving forward with the movie, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm finally going to be doing what I really set out to do all those years ago. Laura, yeah, I know. I was just talking about that with some friends. Everything got shut down last year, so everybody, but I usually travel to all of these events, and just not doing it anymore, I feel so out of the loop. Not going to any of the expos, any of the vegan festivals, or anything like that. And once I started going to those years ago, I was going like every year. It was my thing, every year, making videos, talking to people, meeting new companies, finding out about their vegan endeavors with new products and stuff like that, and then bringing that information to you guys. So that's always been something I've loved doing, and last year stifled everything. And so far this year, it's canceled, because right now would have been Expo West, which is my favorite expo to go to, and they canceled it this year, they canceled it last year. So the last time I've been there was in March of 2019. So yeah, that really sucks. Linda, you like the movie night on Discord? I'm glad you liked it. Movie night. I like movie night. For those of you guys that like movie nights, that like movies, on my Discord channel, I'm for people that are in my $5 tier or above on Patreon, or if you are a follower or a subscriber on my Twitch stream, you get special perks for subscriber only, and we do Discord channel. So I have a room full of whoever is in that group, and we all go there, and I stream a movie, and I do commentary over it. We talk about it, and it's fun. The first one we did was Shaun of the Dead, since I wanted the zombie theme to be present, but also Shaun of the Dead, for those of you that know, is not a scary movie by any means. So it was a comedy. It was, for those of you that are afraid of scary movies, it was still, a watchable movie for pretty much everybody. So yeah, we had a good time doing that, and I've got a bunch more movies that I'm gonna do that with, and maybe even some TV series too. So if you guys are interested, check out the Patreon or the Twitch. Now, if you have Amazon Prime already, and you don't subscribe to anybody on Twitch, you get a free subscription every month, one free one for Twitch. So you could potentially be part of this already without paying anything other than your already Amazon Prime. So you just go over to Twitch, you link the accounts, you do the free subscription, doesn't cost you any more money, and then you get in there and you get the perks of movie night with us. So it's fun. It'll be fun, and we're gonna continue to do this, and I'll give you guys more updates of when the next one will be, and it should be fun. Just going through some of these comments up here. Yeah, so Linda posted the link if you guys are interested, where you can go over the Twitch stream. I do Twitch too. I for those of you who don't know, Twitch is just another platform. I do gaming there, live commentary, that kind of thing. I know not everybody's into gaming, but you can go there and you can see me live and interact and stuff like that. It's fun. What? Vegan Gains giving that promotion for the community. Not sure what you mean by that. For the community, yeah. Probably. I saw Vegan Gains a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, right before the pandemic happened. You like to watch chess on Twitch? You like to watch chess on Twitch? That's really funny that you say that, because I was talking about streaming chess last night on Twitch. So hopefully I get my computer working again soon, because I do want to stream chess on Twitch, and I just started teaching Rebalancer right here how to play chess. So yeah, total coincidence, because we were just talking about it last night. So I would definitely stream chess, and I think streaming it, teaching her how to play, would be a fun start to it. I love chess, by the way. I learned chess when I was a little kid. My dad taught me to play, and then I finally beat him one day, and then I never lost again. Whoa! I just put my standards up there, but it's true. Maybe I just haven't played a chess master. You don't like Daya, you like Follow Your Heart. I don't like the old Daya. The new Daya is not bad. I love Follow Your Heart, though. Follow Your Heart's a really good cheese. Yeah, Violife is definitely better. Violife makes Follow Your Heart and Good Planet and Chow. So Violife is like a staple there. I don't think I have a ranking, because I haven't played it enough online. But I do remember a while back I played online, and I was playing I was like not ranked. I was so low because I just made an account, and I played some quick chess games with some people, and then somebody that was rated 2200, like a gold member, played me, and we went at it, and I had him in checkmate on the next move, and he resigned, and I'm like, why'd you do that? Like, I mean, he basically quit the game. I don't know if he resigned or just quit, pulled out of there, so he didn't take the loss, but I didn't get the win. Why did you know vegan cheeseries make a good... you didn't like the Daya one? The Daya one? I just saw that my friend Issa was making Swiss cheese on her Instagram. I wonder how that came out. I guess some cheeses are just a little harder to make than others. The only Swiss cheese that I found out there was from Daya. My microphone's off. Is it not syncing up with my mouth? Yeah, I'm not even going to try to mess with it right now. As I said at the beginning, my computer died about an hour ago, so I'm streaming this from my laptop, so there's really nothing I can do. As long as you guys can see me and hear me, if it's really bad, then I'm just going to end the stream. I felt like I still wanted to do the live stream rather than just put it off until like another day, so... A good vegan ricotta is difficult to replicate. You know, I've got a good one that I made for my calzones and my lasagna that I made. And you could check that out in my lasagna video. It's good. Tofuti also has one. It's okay. Anyway, what else? So some of the things that I heard people talking about that they were wondering about, brand new vegans they weren't sure about, there was a couple things that I ended up chiming in from my own personal experience being vegan for over, should I say it to make myself look old, over a quarter of a century. So one of them was they were talking, some people didn't realize that honey wasn't vegan or sugar wasn't vegan, and then they spoke up and they weren't really sure. And the one person did try to explain it, but I think they were a little confused as well on the exact details there. So of course honey's not vegan because it comes from an animal. A bee is classified in the kingdom of animals. They are animals. It's regurgitated. It's basically bee vomit is what it is. So by that definition, honey's not vegan. As most of us know that. Sugar, now here's where sugar comes in. So it's not all sugar. So remember, don't be all worried if oh my God, sugar. But there is a lot of white sugar that's not, well, the process it goes through is through a process of bone char. So what happens there? I did a whole video on this. I did a lot of research and I've known about it for a long time, but it's information that's kind of hard to find, but I did put it all into a video if you want to check it out later. Bone char. So basically it's what it sounds like. It's cow bones that have been burned and charred into a charcoal, and then that goes into a filtration system, much like your Brita filters of water. That's the filter that the sugar goes through. Now, there's no bone or bone char in the sugar, but it goes through it like a filtration process to bleach the sugar. When it comes out, it's white sugar, and it's, technically there's nothing in it that's not vegan, but it just went through a process that's definitely not vegan. So that's up to you to make your decision if you want to use that or not. And that's fine if you're not buying into a process that is hurting animals, but there is sugar out there that doesn't go through that process because they are now moving to, even though it's a little more expensive, and that's why they've used this for the last 100 or so years, there is a new process where they use carbon filters, which is a little more expensive, but it's the same process, but they're using carbon instead of the bones. And it goes through a process like that. So, but there are a lot of sugars out there that you don't have to worry about. I know Aldi has one, Trader Joe has one that says, bone char free. Wegmans has one, Florida Crystals is one, Wholesome Sweeteners has it, Sugar in the Raw. There's a lot, even Domino's. Depending on where you live, where you're getting your Domino's from, Domino's Sugar is probably one of the biggest sugar companies in our country, and they have 5 facilities, and there's one in California and there's one in Louisiana, and those ones still use bone char. So if you live there, if you just look at the box and you see where it's manufactured, those ones use bone char, so no good. But if you're looking for the ones that don't, it's Maryland, New York, I forget where the other one is. It might be Florida. Those 3 are all vegan friendly processes. That means the brown sugar, the white sugar, the sugar cubes, all of that. Powdered sugar, you're good to go if you're a sugar addict or if you're just making something with sugar. So I just wanted to clarify that in the stream. And I'm sorry if I missed anybody's questions here while I'm rambling. Yes, in other countries, I believe Australia too does not do it. I'm particularly talking about here in the United States. Okay, that's a good question, Lolly. Lolly wants to know, what are my thoughts on what to do with products that come from animals when you go vegan? Example are leather items. Is continuing to use them unethical if you are vegan? Okay, so here's what I always say to that. So obviously, you just went vegan. Nobody's going to judge you if you have these products. Now, I understand for certain people, it might take a while to end up like getting rid of them or whatever. So like if you're still using them, and you have to still use them for financial reasons or whatever, then by all means do that. But as time goes on, you can kind of switch them out. So maybe your shoes aren't vegan and, you don't have money to go buy a new pair of shoes yet, but then you wear those until it's time to get a new pair of shoes. Now you get a new pair of shoes, and if they're still good to wear, you could donate them. If, leather boots, you could donate them when you get a new pair. Slowly you can move out some of the stuff that you had before, but if you had this stuff before, nobody's judging you if you still have them. But as time goes on, you don't rebuy the same stuff. Like it's time to get a new belt. You don't buy a new leather belt, you buy a vegan belt, and whatever the quality that last one is in, you can either if it's garbage, you could throw it away. If it's usable to give to somebody else, you can donate it to a Goodwill, homeless shelter, something like that. So that's what I always say as far as that goes. You don't need to go ahead and do all that. For me, when I went vegan, I was still living with my parents, so it wasn't like I had to go through my kitchen and throw everything away, because I was sharing a kitchen with my family. So it was easier for me to just I had all vegan stuff. Like they didn't touch my stuff, and I definitely didn't eat their stuff. But if you live on your own, you could buy a bunch of vegan stuff and donate to a food bank the other stuff, or something like that. Yeah. Some honey buns are vegan, as long as they don't have honey in it. Yeah, I remember at one time the roast beef flavor of ramen noodle when Top Ramen was vegan. It still might be. You would think roast beef, but it's just roast beef flavor, and all the ingredients were vegan. I haven't seen it in a long time, so don't go out and run out and buy it without looking at it. But 15, 20 years ago, it was vegan. So there were a lot of vegan stuff that were accidentally vegan back when I first went vegan that you would not think. Like even I haven't had them in a long time, but I also think that Bacos are vegan. The Bacos bacon bits, I think they're vegan. I haven't looked at them in a long time, and they do have vegan ones if those ones aren't anymore, but I believe the actual brand Bacos are vegan. I think it's like wheat gluten. Mandy, I'm the same way. Like now that I have my own house, like my own rules, like, hey, you can come over here, you can cook anything in my house you want. Like even when I had a roommate, you can cook whatever you want. Use the refrigerator. Just don't bring any animal products in here. Like don't put it in my refrigerator. Don't cook it on my stove. These are my things, and I'm sorry, but you're free to cook anything you want as long as it's vegan. But yeah, that would always, like, when I lived at home with my parents, when I first went vegan, I was a teenager, and I was always grossed out by it. And so even if the dishes were clean, I would rewash them before I would use them. And I didn't want anything like next to my stuff in the refrigerator or touching it. It just was. I'm so glad that I have my own place now, is what I'm trying to say. So, and that's not doable for everybody. Some people live with a whole family and have and then just went vegan themselves, which the rest of the people didn't. So, definitely don't beat yourself up over something like that. That's Brianna, good question there. Brianna wants to know, when I first went vegan, what were my first go-to meals for dinner? It's funny because I really want to do a video like this. I was going through some of my old videos, and the thing that I regret is, because I was always doing videos in the 90s and even in the 80s a little bit too. But when I first went vegan, it was in 1994, and I videotaped everything except for what I ate. When I went to the store, going grocery shopping, none of that stuff. But I did find one video where I'm in the grocery store with my skater friends in Sarasota when I was about 19. We were at a Publix, and we were walking around, and I was going to find the tofu. And anyway, what did I normally eat back then? So I would veganize a lot of things. I worked in a lot of different restaurants and stuff like that, and I learned to cook, and I would just veganize different things. So I made a lot of pizza. I made a lot of pizza rolls. I made stuff like spaghetti, rice dishes. I made burgers. My favorite burgers back then, which they don't exist anymore, were called Harvest Burgers. I used to make them on I'd either toast up some toast like a grilled cheese, or I would use a bagel for the bun. That's what I use the most, either an everything bagel or a sesame seed. I love that. Or I would make a tofu sausage breakfast sandwich. And this is way back in the 90s when I would do this. And now there's so many new items and products you can use to do these things. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to do a video of me making the go-to meals I used to eat back then. We used to make mac and cheese with it was nothing like I could make now, but it was a very garlicky, nutritional, yeasty vegan cheese. So it didn't taste really anything like mac and cheese, but it was it was good for what it was back then. Wheat balls. I loved wheat balls, which I've never seen in the last probably 20 some years. Wheat balls were kind of like a wheat gluten. It was like a powdered mix that you would add water to, and it would become like this, almost like a seitan. And then you would break pieces off and put it into boiling water, and we'd season the water with soy sauce and herbs and seasoning, and we would put it in there, and we'd have these, scoop them out, and we'd have wheat balls. We would go to places like Subway, and we would get all veggies, and then we would buy, because Veganese wasn't even though Veganese has been around for 40 years, they wasn't widely available in places that we shopped at. So there was another one called Mayonnaise, which was more liquidy. It wasn't as good. But we used that. So we would get a veggie sub, and then we would buy that, and we put that on there. And this is before the days of vegan cheese. So when that finally came out, or we would buy, vegan meats or something and throw that on there and make our own subs with the. But it always was weird to me, when you would buy, I remember, and this is before I was vegan. This is when I was a vegetarian. I remember I was only 15 or 16. I was with my buddies. We were down skateboarding, and the only place around there where I lived in the small little town that I grew up in was a Pizza Hut and is it McDonald's or Burger King? I think it's Burger King. But it was 2 burgers, 2 fries, $2. So we went in there 15 years old, and we're we want the 2 burgers, 2 fries, $2, but we don't want any burger on it. We just want the buns with the lettuce, tomato, pickles, all that stuff on there, but no burger. And they're and this is a true story. They're okay, we're gonna have to charge you extra for that. And we were what? What do you mean extra for not getting it? They're yeah, we got it. And they did. They charged us double for, or $3 or something for that. I don't know. I worked at a lot of pizza places, and I ended up veganizing a lot of different pizzas. And there's one of my favorites that I did. Actually, it's my recipe, but I filmed John, he used to be the face of this channel. And it's a broccoli, spinach, cheesy, stuffed pizza. Not just stuffed crust, but the whole pizza is like a stuff, like a double layer. And it's so good. And if you guys want to try to make somebody like make something for a non-vegan, I always try to make this when a non-vegan's like, show me some of your best stuff. I always make that pizza, and they're like, oh my God, this is so good. And I learned how to make that when I worked at Sbarro's, like back in 1993, 92. So, working at some of these places just gave me ideas to just veganize different things. Watching from Malaysia. Oh, all the way from Malaysia. How's it going? Yeah, they would do that with no meat. Oh, and Trini, the other question they were asking in that chat room that I wanted to answer to people, and this is only because, so the whole thing came up, and I'm not really like huge on this or anything, but I just want to give you the thoughts of somebody that was. So for those of you that are religious and use the excuse like God gave us dominion over animals to do as we please with, and people were having a hard time interpreting that. And a few years ago at a vegan meetup, I met a vegan preacher. So this guy preaches, he runs a church, he does online church thing, and I saw him at this vegan meetup that I did a presentation at, and then I ended up seeing him at Wegmans one night, and he sat there and talked to me for like an hour. And I ended up I'm like, I got to go, man. But he did have a lot of interesting things to say about like some of the things that other people talk about. And one of them was when they say we have dominion over animals to do as we please with, he says, well, that's true, we have dominion over animals, but we have dominion over animals the same way that God has dominion over us. So God wouldn't treat us the way that we're treating some of these animals. So why are we treating some of these animals the way that we know that God wouldn't treat us? So that's kind of, we have dominion. Like we can protect them, so we probably should. We shouldn't bring them into this world unnecessarily and do all these things. So I'm just the messenger on what he said. This is what he says. So for those of you that are religious, that's something to consider there. And then the other question they had was, can you be healthy and vegan? And it's like, yeah. I've been doing it for most of my life. So there's that too. Okay. I mean, for whatever reason, I want to know all like the, I'm glad that he told me that, even though I'm not religious myself. I'm glad he told me that, because there's people out there that's a burden to them. They think that, I think that's a great response. So, hey AJ, how's it going? Sicily, well, this preacher guy also said that he was, absolutely vegan. But anyway, I didn't mean to get into like religious talk or anything. Oh, we got a super chat. I didn't even see it. Let me scroll up. Hold on. Thank you. Lena J, thank you for that super chat there from Canada. I appreciate that. Sorry that I missed it there. Thank you for letting me know. I must have been going off on a tangent over here. No, I've never been to veg. I've heard about it. I have not really been to Philly. I've only been there twice in my life. And the first time was like 1993, and that was not to go down there to eat. The second time was a couple years ago for the vegan running team, and we got down there pretty late. We went to Blackbird Pizza, and we got a bunch of wings and pizza, and it was good. But those are the only two places I've ever been to in Philly. Although Philly's really only like I think a 5-hour drive for me. But yeah, I was supposed to go to Philly because they were supposed to have Expo East in Philly for the first time ever, and I was looking forward to that, but we know how that went down. Seventh-day Adventist. They have some of the longest lifespan, too. And they're vegetarian, and some of them are vegan. Welcome to the chat. We're just talking about just basically questions that newbie vegans have, people that have. We've already opened up the packages earlier on in the stream. Oh, I hope so. I hope that they do the Philly Expo. I'm bummed that they didn't do the this one, the Expo West. It's by far my favorite. Hello, all the way in Brazil, Midnight Gospel. Thanks for joining us. And hello from London. Hi, Natasha. Produce, not pills. Yes, there's a lot of vegan places that I've never been to that I would like to go to. I've never been to Crossroads, and I hear that it's really, really good. And there's a new restaurant that opened up in Dallas, Texas, and the owner just bought Moby's restaurant, and he reached out to me. He wanted me to go there and do a video, so I really want to go check that one out. It's called, I think it's called, what did he say, Pulse? Something like that. It's the biggest vegan restaurant in the world, square footage, so that's pretty cool. Court, I do have a cookbook. It's sitting behind me over here, but it's out of print. I'm sorry it's out of print. It's in 3 different languages, but I do have an ebook version of it, which is the same. It's just ebook, and you can find it on theveganzombie.com. Okay, we can talk about that. This is going to take a minute, though. Why did Moby sell his restaurant? It was a money pit for him. He was just giving and giving and giving, and he was never in it to make money in the first place. Anything that was profit was going straight towards animal rights, and he was helping people in the community, of the animal rights community. But since it wasn't making any money and it was only taken from his money, he cut his losses. He had to get rid of it. And the guy that bought it didn't want to see it be bought out by like some steak company. He wanted to continue it to be vegan, so he bought it, and then he also bought another one. And that was a pretty amazing phone call we had there. I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. Let's see. So Lolly wants to know what inspired me to go vegan, vegetarian when I was younger. So I can kind of talk about this right now in a nutshell. I do have other videos out there where I talk about this. I have a video dedicated to exactly every detail of what I did. But basically, 31 years ago this week, I was 14 years old. I was over at my buddy's house. We were into the martial art form of ninjutsu. A friend of the family of one of my best friends was into ninjutsu. He was a very unique guy. He was, 4, 5, 6 years older than us, but he was like a minimalist. He preached and practiced ninjutsu all the way from the ancient traditional, like he was learning Japanese. He was, just the only thing, he was such a minimalist. I remember he only had like books and some of his, ninjutsu things. And so he decided he was going to train us maybe once or twice a month. He would come into town and we would go out and practice ninjutsu. And one morning before we actually went out to do the physical activity, he said, this is what the ancient ninja, the ancient Buddhists, their diet consisted up of, vegetarianism. And they ate, different things. So he brought a few things over there that day, and I had never heard of two of them. The green tea I've heard of, so he had green tea. And he also had some tofu, which I had never heard of tofu at that point. And he also had some tabbouleh, which, I don't think tabbouleh was in the diet of, the ancient ninja, but he had tabbouleh with him that he got, and this was his diet. And I'm like, if he does it, and the ancient ninjas did it, I'm going to do it. So I was so inspired by that. I tried the tofu, totally not cooked, not seasoned, raw tofu. And when I eat raw tofu today, I still have that. It brings me right back to that moment. It's like kind of a nostalgic thing. But anyway, me and my buddy, two of my buddies, we decided from that day on we were going to be vegetarian. And for me, that was like a new chapter in my life. I felt like it was something, I didn't feel anything like a restricted. I felt like it was a new, fun, and challenging new part of my life. I was like, this is awesome. Like, all right, what are we going to eat? Like, I didn't think that I was going to be sick or anything like that. And I didn't know anybody else that was vegetarian, or we never even heard the word vegan at that point. It was just my ninja trainer guy. So cold turkey, we went vegetarian that day. And I had always loved animals. Like literally, I would try to save any animal I would find that was injured in my neighborhood. I've got other stories about how I tried to bring home an animal that got hit by a car, and mom, we got to take it to the vet, that kind of thing. So I'd always loved animals, and I'd always ask my mom the questions like why are we eating that? She's she just blew it off. Anyway, that's a longer story. I'm going to try to keep it a little bit shorter. So at that point, yeah, there's really nothing to find any information, because we're talking about 1990. This is 31 years ago. So as the years went on, I started learning more and more about veganism, and I didn't want to do anything that hurt or killed an animal. And at that point, being a little kid and not knowing any of what's really going on, and not having YouTube or the internet didn't exist. We had no Google, no YouTube, none of that. It didn't exist. I'm sure it existed for the military, the DARPAnet, but that's not what we're talking about. And so as time went on, I started learning more and more, and I wouldn't eat meat because I didn't want to kill the animal. So I worked at pizza places, and I found out if the cheese, because cheese is vegetarian mostly, so I found out if the cheese had rennet in it, which was the lining of a goat stomach or a cow stomach, I wouldn't eat it. I'm like, I can't eat that cheese. So I was a strict vegetarian as far as that goes. And then one day, I'm sitting with my buddies, and we're in Taco Bell of all places. And this was a few years after I went vegetarian. And it all started coming to me. I'm like, wait a minute. So the dairy industry is just as bad. I don't want anything to do with this. And in my brain, I connected the dots, and I said, I don't consider animal products to be food anymore. I'm not going to eat animal products at all anymore. And at the time, people said, if you go vegan, you're going to make yourself sick. You're going to need to be very careful with the supplements and the vitamins you're taking. You're going to get sick. And sometimes it can be irreversible. And that didn't matter to me. I took a leap of faith, not knowing anything else, no documentaries, no books, again, at this point, the internet, there still was no such thing as Google, no YouTube. I took the leap of faith and said, I don't consider this food anymore, So, this is how I, usually kind of articulate what I'm trying to talk about. All right, this is a roll of tape that I use to tape my packages I send out. I can't eat this. It's not edible. Well, that's how I feel about animal products. They're not edible. So at that moment, I'm totally removed from all animal products. They were gross to me. I broke it down like empirically, and for what they were, like I looked at it for what it was, you know. I'm like, well, wait a minute, this is the flesh, the muscle of an animal that is being cooked up and seasoned and flavored, and we don't need that. The milk is like coming from the udders of another being. That's gross to me. And so what did I do? I thought of all the other things that I could eat. I'm like, I can eat vegetables, I can eat nuts and seeds. I mean, literally hundreds of thousands of different things that I could eat, with billions, if yet trillions of combinations I could put together to make different meals with. So I'm like, all right. So again, I'm on another chapter of like my life where to me, you know, to some people they feel like it's too hard or too challenging, or, you know, like people are going to make fun of them for it. And to me, none of that mattered. To me, it was it was fun. There was an element of that, but it was like it was like a new challenge of my life of what I was going to do, and I didn't look at it negatively at all. To me, it cleared my mind. Like, I felt good physically and I felt good mentally. I knew I was doing the right thing, and people said that I was going to get sick. And let me tell you, I was born with something they said I would never outgrow. I was born with a heart condition. One of the valves to my lungs was a little bit too narrow, and I used to have to always pre-medicate, like, with different things. Like, if I went to the dentist, they filled me with antibiotics. I always had to pre-medicate because I had this heart condition that they said I would have all of my life. And I ended up outgrowing it. I went to a specialist. They looked at me and you're good. You're good. I'm like, I don't need to pre-medicate. No, you're normal. You're normal. So I'm like, wow, you know. But that condition that I had, I was always lethargic. I was tired. I was out of breath. Where, you know, I was very active as a kid, but I would always get out of breath. And when I went vegetarian, I felt a noticeable increase in energy. But when I went vegan, within 2 weeks, I was like, wow, like, I feel so much better. I did. Like, this is undeniable. Like, this isn't, this is not any, like, promotion tactic or technique. I felt great. I felt super energized. And it was only within 2 weeks that I went vegan. And that was 1994. That was almost 27 years ago. This year will be 27 years. So, you know, people told me I was going to get sick and everything, and I didn't. And again, I didn't follow, like, I wasn't like, all right, I need these meals. I need to prep all these meals. I need to make sure I'm getting this, and this, you know, so I'm healthy. No. When I was hungry, I made a meal and I ate it. And that's what I've done for 27 years, almost 27 years. You know, when I'm hungry, I make a meal, I eat it. So instead of this is what I tell people, like, if you're not vegan, but you want to go vegan, just write down a list of the things that you normally would have. Like, if you're going to have a spaghetti dinner, or, you know, you're going to have a hamburger, or, you know, mac and cheese and hot dog, like, whatever you're going to have in your normal week that's not vegan, go to the internet and Google vegan recipes of what you normally would eat, and you're going to find everything. You can make vegan meatloaf, you can make vegan heroes and pizza rolls, and you can make healthy things, vegan club sandwiches, and you can make, you know, raw vegan meals. You can make everything. There's so many things you can make out there. And if you don't like a certain recipe, there's thousands of other recipes. Try another one. Don't give up. If you try a vegan cheese you don't like, there's a lot of vegan cheeses out there. There's some I don't like. I feel like they shouldn't even be on the market because they're giving us a bad name. But if there's something you don't like, try another one. If there's a vegan milk you don't like, try another one. There's so many vegan milks out there. And there's a lot of them. There's probably more of them out there that I don't like than I do like. But I found, like, a good handful of ones that are my go-to ones, and they're delicious. So yeah, it's definitely, it's a lot easier than people think. When I remember before I did go vegan, like, when I finally did it, it was a breeze. But before, I remember the mentality before that. When I was a vegetarian and people were talking about being vegan, it was very, very rare, for one, to hear even the word vegan. But there was a few people that were talking about it, that were going vegan back then, that I knew, because again, it wasn't like, there was no computer to link up with these people. It was like by word of mouth kind of thing. So people would say, like, oh, that's just too extreme, like, that's too hard. And like, for for a little bit, I felt the same way. I'm like, oh, that's really extreme. That's really hard to do. But again, back then, like I made it happen, and there was not like barely any vegan companies out there. Nothing was labeled vegan because it just wasn't a thing. There wasn't vegan restaurants around. And if there were, there may be one or two in the entire country kind of thing. So it was really different back then than it is now. So, you know, if I can do it then and people can do it then, looking at it now, it's so vegan friendly. Veganism has finally gone mainstream. And it might seem in your mind more challenging than it actually really is. I mean, what it really all comes down to is like we all eat. If we don't eat, we die. So what are you going to put in your mouth like when you have to eat? That's where it starts, you know? I mean, when you get the mentality to go vegan and you're no longer harming the animals, you want to do, I mean, it's the single best thing you can do and not be part of, you know, a revolving door that is making these animals suffer for no reason. So when you do that, you know, you make that decision. Am I going to eat this or am I going to eat that? It's really not hard. And if you're tight on money, yeah, you can eat vegan for, you know, pennies, dirt cheap. That doesn't mean you can go buy all these like fancy foods and go to the vegan restaurants because that's going to be expensive. But the staple foods that keep you healthy, the whole foods, the beans, the rice, the, you know, the bulk, tofu, stuff like that, you can make meals. And I've got several videos out there, Vegan on a Budget. Sorry if that answer was way too long. Wonder if you're still even here. But I do have even more in-depth explanation of that in my other videos. I tried to make it a little bit faster. So I always like to congratulate people for going vegan. But yeah, like it's, I mean, literally there's never like as poor as I've been in my life, I've never felt like I couldn't be vegan. Like once I went vegan, it was for life. It was like, this is me. I could never eat animals again. And honestly, there's never been a day that I was like, I can't. I mean, there's been challenging times where like I'm, you know, on a work function and they buy everybody lunch and there's nothing there I can eat, but it's not worth it to me to eat something there when I know that, you know, maybe I'm just going to be hungry the rest of the day and I'll eat when I get home. It's not a big deal. Like humans can go like a couple weeks without eating food, so I'm not going to eat an animal just because they didn't get something that I could eat. And, you know, nowadays it's a little different because nowadays you can at least voice an opinion and say, hey, you know, like I have, you know, eating restrictions or something like that. You can call it that, whatever. And if you're in a work function, it might be easier for them to understand if you say it in more terms like that. And they can maybe make sure there's something that's vegan friendly if they're doing something like that. But I've been in some pretty awkward situations like that before, or something where somebody like made dinner and it wasn't vegan, and you know they went out of their way to do it, and it's kind of like awkward at first, but you know, like you explain yourself, and if they get mad at you for something like that, then you don't need to be there in the first place. Johan, I think that's how to pronounce your name. You want to know what happened to the old vegan zombie guy? Never heard of him since he left the channel. Greets. Okay, yeah. So John used to be the face of the show back in the day because I didn't want to be in front of the camera. But then he kind of, you know, backed away from that, and then I convinced him to start his own channel a couple years ago. So he's over at the Vegan Homestead. You can find him over there. His first two videos are me and him talking about why that happened, and then the rest of it is all him. So if you want to check out John now, go over to the Vegan Homestead. It's mostly John and Kristen. So John and his wife do videos over there. Sorry if I'm missing some of the questions there. Just trying to read a few more. Has anyone ever gotten mad at me or upset that I declined a meal? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, mainly family. I don't think my mom, like, really understood, back in the day. Like, we're talking a long time ago. But she's like, if you ate what the rest of us ate, that kind of thing. And then one time, this is before I was even vegan, and when I was a vegetarian, my friend's mom got mad because she made us both chicken. And I was like, I can't eat this. I'm vegetarian. And she's like, you can eat it. You can eat it. And I'm like, no, I can't. No, I can't. And I was so, like, I didn't know what to do. And I was like, I gotta go. But I was like, no, I can't eat it. I can't eat it. So that's the only thing that sticks out to me. The only other thing that was awkward, but it turned out to be completely fine, was, I worked at this place and everybody liked me there, and I was leaving to go to college, and it was my last day, and they said, hey, come on in the break room for a minute. And I was like, oh no, what are they doing? They did a surprise party for me, and they bought like a going away cake. And I was like, I didn't know what to say, and I was totally different then than I am now, in the sense that I was very, very shy. Like, if all of a sudden you got the old me, and I just, like, was sitting in front of you guys, and I realized how many people were watching me, I would turn this computer off and run away. I was that shy, and I would always get stage fright. I couldn't talk in front of people unless it was my good friends and family. So I didn't know what to do. Like, they gave me a piece of cake, and I'm just sitting there going, and they're like, eat your cake. And I'm like, guys, I just got to say something. I can't eat this. And I just want to say, like, thank you so much for doing this. Like, I really appreciate this, but I can't eat this cake because I'm vegan. Like I was so shy. I didn't tell anybody anything. And they were quiet for like a couple seconds, and they're like, well, give it to me, I'll eat it. And I'm like, oh, they didn't kill me. And it was okay. So, just stick by your morals and convictions, and, you might want to thank somebody for doing what they did, but then tell them, like, hey, maybe next time I could bring something. That's what I normally do. If I get invited somewhere where I know it's not vegan, and I think I'm not going to be able to eat something there, which nowadays is usually the case. There usually is stuff. Like, I usually bring I'll make like a big thing of vegan mac and cheese or lasagna or something, and I would bring that there for everybody, but knowing that if there was nothing I could eat, I could still eat something. So that's like kind of a trick you can do. Just bring your own dish. I remember I went to my cousin's wedding, which they were in the really nice place for a wedding, and I was like, there's going to be nothing vegan there, and it was in Scranton. And like a couple streets over was a vegan restaurant that my buddy owned. So we're like, let's all go there and eat, so we have something to eat. And we all went over there. We ate, all this delicious vegan food. And then we get back to the wedding. We're so full now. And then they bring out the food, and like 80% of it's vegan. So we're like, what did we do? But it was still good regardless. But like, I didn't want to be that person, like, at somebody else's wedding to be like, hey, but if they ask, like, I've been to weddings where, like, literally you get a plate of, like, spinach and, like, little cherry tomatoes, and you're like, there's your dinner. But I've also been to weddings where I went to my buddy's wedding, and I was, like, the best man for him, and he made sure, he told the chef, goes, my friend's vegan, so you just got to make sure you got to make something vegan, and he doesn't want no salad either, just, you better make him something vegan. And so everybody got like their meals coming out to them, and none of it's vegan. And then the chef brings my meal out, and everyone's looking at it. They're like, whoa, what is that? I want that. What is that? And they sit down, and everybody's looking at it like, what is that? They're like, oh, that's the vegan meal. And I forgot what it was, but everybody was like, oh my God. Like, I mean, they went all out. It was like over 10, 11, 12 years ago. Wow. It was 15 years ago. Wow. 2006. Time is flying. Anyway, if you guys have any questions in this kind of, like, I've been through a lot as far as experiencing different situations as a vegan over the last few decades. So if there's anything that I can help you guys with or answer, feel free to ask. And then here I am now. I decided to, create this YouTube channel. And this is probably one of the best things I've ever been able to do as far, for veganism. Like, getting a voice out there and in like a fun, educational way, but hopefully inspiring people to go vegan. I feel like that's the key. You can't confront somebody and make them want to go vegan. You got to get them to come up with the idea and say, look, you've inspired me in some way to want to go vegan. You got to show them and educate them. Otherwise, when you confront people like in your face kind of, and that's what I would see in the vegan community when I first went vegan, and I just didn't like the approach. So I wanted to find a way to like do it in a way where people would want to go vegan and stay vegan, not being like this person's like so extreme, trying to like force this down my throat, and they don't understand. They just see like somebody confronting them and saying, you got to do this, and it's like, no, I don't have to, because the psychology of most people, at least for myself, if somebody tells me I got to do something, I'm like, no, I don't. So, and I mean, I've been doing this for 13 years, and I've got a lot of feedback, whether it's from you guys over a message or an email, or even when I meet people in person, and a lot, it's all positive feedback. Like, I feel it's such a good feeling when somebody says, hey, like your videos help my family go vegan, or something like that. Or, like, I love your cookbook, like, because now I know somebody, even if they didn't go vegan, I know somebody for that meal is eating a vegan meal instead of a non-vegan meal. You know what I'm saying? It's a good feeling, and it makes me want to continue doing what I'm doing. It's a lot of work, but it's like, it's a rewarding feeling. And I love it. Do I remember who was also vegan on the YouTube on the way, way, way back? Are they still around? I mean, there are people that do it for other reasons where I feel like they didn't really find the true reason of veganism. And there is that, and people try to criticize that, but it's a real thing. I think some people see it and do it as a trend, and for whatever reason, like, there are people that do it for the wrong reason. I would just argue, they were plant-based. But veganism really is a way of life. There is no diet. I hate when people say the vegan diet killed my, there is no diet. Like, I'm a vegan, so everything I eat is my vegan diet. But there is no one vegan diet. There's so many things in the realm of veganism that you can eat. There is no one diet. So you can't really claim, there's people that go on very extreme restrictive diets, and then I feel like things go a little bit wrong, and then they blame veganism, and that's absurd. So I think people need to know what veganism really is. Veganism is a way of life, not to exploit, harm, and cause unnecessary suffering to animals. You're not wearing them, you're not eating. And the number one thing you can do with that, again, it comes down to what you put in your mouth. And we all have to eat. So if we all have to eat, the number one thing you can do for the animals is to stop eating them, because there's other things we can eat. And I'm proof enough that you can be vegan long term. And I barely even tried. I would just eat. If I was hungry, I'd eat something. And here I am, 26 years, almost 27 years later, as a vegan. So, yeah, I think it's the number one thing you can do. The number one thing you can do is stop eating them. So, and that's the other thing at the videos, because people thought it was nonsense, and I think going back to like the anti-vegans that attack vegans, like I feel like me and other people that have been vegan a long time are like the biggest threat to them, because their whole philosophy is you can't be vegan and be healthy, and you definitely can't be vegan long term. And these videos they made of me, they all think I'm in my 20s, and which is funny because they think I'm in my 20s, and they're like, dude, wait until you hit your 30s. You're going to feel, there's going to be noticeable differences of your health if you keep it up. And it's like, I'm 45. I've been vegan for half my life, over half my life. I've been vegan longer than I haven't been vegan. So let's just put it that way. And if my health is going to start deteriorating, don't you think it would have done it after the first 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 years? It hasn't. So I don't know. And I've got friends. I don't really know too many other people on YouTube that are really long-term vegans. But I have friends that have been vegan just as long as me, and I have one friend that's been vegan for 45 years. And she definitely doesn't look her age. So and there's a few of you on here that I always see in the comments that have been vegan for, some of you have been vegan for almost all of your life. My light just went out. My light just went out. It's a rainy night in Georgia. There we go. Turn that back on. Okay, blinding me for a second. Let me read some more questions. I'm going to run out of stuff to do on my live stream for Wednesday. Maybe we'll have to cancel the Wednesday live stream because we did it tonight. Travis, I feel just as good. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. So I feel like I felt like when I was in my 20s. And in my 20s, what was I doing every day? I was eating vegan junk food, and I was skateboarding all day, every day. And I still skateboard. I don't skateboard as much as I want. I got other things going on, but I still skateboard at least every year. That's awesome, Mike. Keep it up. You know. Yeah, I can't prove I can't prove any of this is, the way of the life that I have, because I can't go back in time and do it all over differently to prove a point. But I can almost guarantee if I never went vegan and I wasn't straight edge, that I probably wouldn't be as healthy as I am now, and I might not even look the same as I look now. So, I think lifestyle is a huge part of your health and well-being. That's definitely. I feel like there's a lot of vegans out there where people, they look 5, 10, 15, some of them 20 years younger than what they really are. I mean, I get people rarely, I don't think anybody's ever guessed my real age. And some people say that I look, like anything from like 5 years younger to some people thought I was like in my 20s, which is kind of funny, especially coming from an anti-vegan, thinking that I'm in my 20s. It's funny. It's funny when they find out how old I really am. Would I ever write a book about my vegan journey? I totally could, because I've got 30 years behind me. I consider when I first went vegetarian the beginning of my journey, because that started everything out. That started me out like thinking about it. It started me out reading labels, being cognizant of what I was eating, and questioning things. And I never did that before. So if any of you are out there that are vegetarian and you don't think you can go vegan, Like, you can totally do it. And like the other thing is, like, I can't stress enough. And like, I'm not the kind of person, like, I don't tell anybody what to do. I don't want to be, you make up your own choices. You make up your own decisions. Just know by doing so, there definitely can be victims involved in your decisions. But I'm not the person that is going to tell you what to do with your life or what choices to make. You got to make those up yourself. So I can't go back and I can't stress enough that this was the single best decision I had ever made in my life. I made, poor decisions, I made good decisions, but this by far was the single best decision I ever made, not knowing it at the time. And if I could give one piece of advice to somebody now is if you're not already vegan, today is the best day. Do it now. Go vegan, and you won't regret it, because 10, 20 years down the line, if you never did it, and then you finally do it then, and you look back, you're like, I knew about it then. I could have done it then. I should have done it then, but I didn't do it then. You're not going without. There is, if you're afraid that it's going to be too challenging or too extreme, or that there's not enough tasty foods that you can eat, you're so wrong. Like, when I went vegan, my whole world opened up for delicious foods. Foods from all over the place, all over the world, different ethnicities, different vegan meals. And this is stuff that I never had before I went vegan. I was pretty standard meals, like, growing up, what my mom would give us, and when my mom would cook me, or, school lunches or something like that. And, just because I'm vegan, I love food. Like, I don't want to eat something that doesn't taste good. So I make all kinds of delicious foods out there, like I did last night for my mom. She, I was trying to eat healthy, and she was hungry, and I'm like, Mom, why don't, I'll make you something. What do you want? And she's like, oh, well, there's, I don't. And so I'm looking around the kitchen, and what did I do? She bought some vegan chicken strips from Aldi that she wanted to try. So I'm like, all right, I'll make you something with those. So she had a bunch of tomatoes on the vine. She had an onion, so I chopped up the onion. I threw it in a pan. I didn't even use oil, by the way, so I threw that in the pan. I chopped up the tomatoes. I threw those in there. And then she had a bag of organic veggies, like were peas and beans and corn. Threw that in there. I let that simmer down, cook up really nice. And then I put the chicken strips in there. I seasoned it up with different seasonings that I think work best together to bring out the flavors. I let it cook down, fill the bowl up, gave it to her, and she was like, this is so good. Thank you for making dinner. She thought I did something so wonderful, and I'm like, all I did was cook dinner really quick. So, I mean, you just find things in the kitchen, you cook it up. That was a nutritious, healthy vegan meal that took me 10, 15 minutes to cook. Very easy. Did I take a picture? I don't think I took a picture of it. Darn it. I could have showed you guys. So, Lexi, you were a vegetarian for about a year. I feel like a lot of people go vegetarian first, and that's a great first step. I went vegetarian before I went vegan. I feel like if you think it's going to be a challenge, if you think it's going to be extreme, if you think you're not going to be able to do it, then you're already setting yourself up for failure. But there's no better time than right now to do it, because we've come so far. Nobody knew what the word meant when I first, people would be like, oh, you're a vegan? No, I'm vegan. Well, what's that mean? Can you eat fish? No, but I feel like now most people know what vegan is. It's finally gone mainstream to the point where, there's people out there, their whole job is to make fun of it. We got anti-vegan. We never had that before. I mean, there were certain people that just didn't want anything to do with it. But we have people that they're making it their own mission. It's getting big when that happens. And it's only getting bigger every day. You got big corporations that were not vegan that are investing in vegan products, that are making vegan products because they see where the money's going. They see where the future's going. And it's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And, there's no easier time to do it than right now. I mean, you have the internet, you have Google, you have YouTube, you have people, other people like me that have cooking shows to show you how to make different meals that are delicious, cookbooks. You have vegan forums out there, different like sites where you can go to, like for instance, local vegan groups. I live in upstate New York, and I'm in a few different groups here, and people are posting every single day, like, hey, give me a just before I was on here, somebody asked for like, what's the best vegan milk chocolate out there? So I snapped a picture of my Vago bar and I posted it on the forum. But like, certain things like that. They find a new product, or they're asking, they want some advice, and like, there's people out there to help you with anything. So, there's meetup groups, like when the pandemic's not going on, where you can meet up and, have potlucks and meet, other vegan people if that's your thing. So you don't have to feel alone when you're doing it if you're trying to go vegan. What's up, Tommy? Play some EQ with me. How's Tommy and the family doing? Not only that, like when you see how unnecessary it is, like I've lived the last all of my years as vegan, eating for the most part pretty good, delicious meals that I've made. I mean, that's been my thing. Like being vegan, like I don't want to eat anything that doesn't taste good. So I make it a point to make like the best meals I can. So I'm always out there trying to make new things, even if I'm making it like, I want a fast meal. Like I'm going to make it taste good. I've already gone through like messing things up and trying to perfect something. So I know what I can make. I know what I can make delicious out there. So, but on top of that, like just knowing that you're not taking part in like what's actually, I think people know this, but when you actually think about what's really going on to some of these animals out there that are suffering because of the choices that people are making, it's horrible. Like I know it's impossible for some people to try to put yourself in their place, what they're going through. I don't want to be part of that. I don't want to know that I'm part of what's going on there. And that is a huge reality, and why vegans are vegan, because they don't want to partake in that. So, I know that, there's always that bad stuff going on. So, I mean, you got to do the good, and you got to enjoy the good that you're doing. But, just know that that's going on because people make the decision not to be vegan. I just think that, vegan is the future. More and more people are going towards vegan. Do I think that everybody's going to go vegan in the future? I don't think that everybody's going to go vegan in the future. Maybe in a far, far, far away future, people will be vegan, and they will look back and they will wonder why we did this when we didn't have to. I mean, we're not living in the prehistoric age. We're not living in the 15, 16, 1700s. We're here in the present day that we don't have to do any of these things. So, just think about that. Yeah, I mean, man, there are people that are like that. They don't care. When you confront them, they don't care. But I also feel like some of those people, it's the technique or the way they're confronted, or maybe they had an unpleasant confrontation with vegans in the past. Because there are vegans out there that I feel like, I don't want to say names, but there's definitely vegans out there that I think are doing more of a disservice to veganism than they are doing a service to veganism. Maybe they know what they're talking about and they have valid points, but the way that they are going about it are making more people be like, I don't want anything to do with this. They see it as extremism, and whether I agree with it or not, because I can see both ends. I can see why people come at it in such a passionate, in-your-face view, because I know what's going on, and underneath it all, like I want to do the same thing, but at the same time, I know the psychology of most people. You're not going to get through to people like that. You're going to make people think that you're out of your mind, that you're extreme, and you're trying to force your beliefs down their throats. And that's how they see it. And they'll often say things to you like, I don't tell you how to eat. I don't criticize what you eat. Don't criticize me how I eat. And it's like, you know what? I don't care what you eat either. You know, you don't criticize me for what I'm eating because I don't have a victim on my plate. And honestly, I don't care what anybody else eats either, unless they're eating, you know, animals, because there's a victim there. There's a little bit of a difference between that. I don't have a victim, you have a victim. So that's why a lot of vegans are passionate about that. You know, they're not trying to, I feel like they're misunderstood by a lot of people that aren't educated as far as what's going on, but also don't want to be because they're confronted in such a harsh way that they just see vegans as like, oh, I don't want anything to do with vegans. They're extremists, don't want anything to do with them. And that could be like a very, you have to find out. I mean, that's why I made my videos the way I made them. There was a lot of thought about behind why I created this channel. I wanted it to be appealing to everybody. I wanted even like non-vegans to be like, oh, wait a minute, he's running from zombies? He's killing zombies. Oh, he found an abandoned kitchen. What's he going to do? Oh, that he's making lasagna? That actually looks pretty good. And then be like, you know what? You know, this seems like a cool channel. They're not stuffing it down my throat. I think I might, that looks pretty good. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try it out. And then they try it out. They're like, maybe I can do this. That was good. And it was filling, and I want to try another recipe now. That was the whole thought process behind my channel. I want people to come in first. I don't want to like hit them with all like the facts. I want them to come in, check out the channel, make some of the food, and then ask the questions of, oh, wait a minute, it makes sense now. Thank you. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, AJ, exactly. The personal choice thing. It is their personal choice. They have free will to do it, but in so doing that, you rob the life of an innocent being by doing that. So it's completely unnecessary, and I don't know. It's just weird how, you know, when you think about it, when they eat their meat, they dress it up with vegan herbs and vegan seasonings and spices and vegan marinades. Also, it can taste good because it doesn't. As far as I remember, it was nasty. You know, there's nothing. You know, a lot of anti-vegans try to make videos about this and stuff, but they think that we as vegans are craving meat. It's just not true. It was always disgusting to me. And, well, you know, I'm speaking for myself. For myself, I've never craved something. I do not crave anything that's not vegan. In fact, it's the opposite. When I see somebody sitting there eating something, I know what it is. And it's like, it makes me want to gag sometimes when I see somebody eating something that's not vegan. Or when they sit down next to me, I like pull my plate away, you know, like, oh, I don't want anything splashing on my plate over here. Guys, I'm sorry. I've like missed so many of the comments here. I'm glad you guys are joining in on the comments and being part of this stream. But yeah, from what I remember, when I did used to eat meat, I remember more often than not, I was one of those people that would be like at the dinner table with my parents. Because remember, I was a kid. I went vegetarian when I was 14. So anything under 14 for me, I was eating meat. And my parents my mom would make the food and put it on the table, and we'd have to eat it, or, you know, like we either didn't get dessert or we couldn't leave the table, like that kind of thing. So I remember more often than not when I was eating meat, I was like, spitting it into my napkin. I was one of those people. I spit so much meat into my napkin as a kid, And I remember, I don't really even want to talk about this, but it's true. Like this the nasty stuff, like on chicken wings and chicken legs. Like, I don't understand how people just slurp those up. And I remember, I'm old enough to remember when they were first called Chicken McNuggets. Now they're just chicken nuggets. But Chicken McNuggets from McDonald's. I remember when they first came out. I remember the commercial on TV for them. They're bitchin', and thinking about it. And then eating them and getting like a weird rubbery part and like spitting it out. Guys, I've never had that happen with vegan chicken nuggets. Vegan chicken nuggets, you can eat the whole thing. You never get that nasty rubbery part. And guess what? They're good. Most of the ones I've had are good, okay? The new Incognito ones, they're super good. The Morningstar ones, super good. They had different brands back when I was younger that they don't exist anymore because they made a stupid decision and they basically made themselves go out of business. But other than that, like, I don't have that problem with vegan chicken, and it's good. So I know that I can eat it, and it's not, I'm not going to get something that I don't know what it is. Oh. Oh yeah, Walmart does have a lot, for some of you guys who only have a Walmart area, you can get some pretty good vegan items at Walmart. They have a pretty good selection, and a lot of it is cheaper than at other places too. So Walmart is a viable place to get some vegan stuff if you don't have any other places around you. You don't have a Whole Foods store around you or something like that. And I think Walmarts are pretty much everywhere. So I don't go there that often, but when I do, I try to do videos there, see what they have. Mon Chéri, I know. What is up with the whole bone broth? That's like, what do they think? Oh, yep, the fish bones too. Oh, there's nothing I ever liked about. I can't remember any meat that I liked. And then shrimp. Oh, the little trail of poo-poo. Matt said we had vegan ham tonight. What kind of ham was it? Tofurkey makes a pretty darn good vegan ham, if that's the one you had. Carol, Elizabeth, 21 years vegan. Congrats. That's awesome. Whether you've been vegan, whether you just went vegan today or you've been vegan 30 or more years or whatever, congrats to you. I feel like it's I feel like it's one of the best decisions we can make, a personal decision that we can make, to cause, a positive change. And like I said, I feel great physically and mentally for the fact that I just stopped partaking in eating animals. It's rewarding, and I just feel like it's the right thing to do. There's so many reasons to go vegan, and there's really no reasons not to go vegan other than your own, selfish, you just don't want to do it. Oh, you had the field roast ham. Yeah, I know field roast. Sage and garlic celebration ham. Oh, okay. The celebration ham. Yeah, it's not bad. I would, if you are going to buy a ham again, look for the Tofurkey one. That's even better, in my opinion. Yeah, field roast has a lot of different roasts. There's one that I really like. It's the one that's coated in the phyllo dough. I'm not sure, but then the other one I don't really like the other one as much because it's either too dry or too salty for me. But they do have one that's really good, and it's very similar to the Trader Joe's one. I'm still partial to the tofurkey just because I've been eating it since it came out. And Field Roast also Field Roast makes a really good vegan cheese called Chow. They have vegan cheese. They also have Fruffalo wings and mini corn dogs. Yeah, the phyllo pastry dough. It's like wrapped around it, kind of like a Wellington. By the way, I know I said this earlier on in the stream, but I am making vegan jerky, and I'm excited because I'm going to do a video for it. It's actually in the process of being made right now downstairs in the kitchen. Oh, Tommy, I vaguely remember them talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I don't know when that's coming out. But yeah, that sounds interesting. I will definitely watch it. Miss Sunshine, I would recommend the Tofurkey vegan ham. And if you, after we're done on this video, if you want to go to my channel and search for the vegan ham roast that I do, I show you how to make it. It's so good. It's really, really good. I did it a couple years ago for one of the holidays. I don't remember. I think I have a tofurkey roast in my freezer. I don't think I have the ham, but I might. Tamcon, a lot of people have been asking me about the Brave Robot ice cream. I have not tried it. But I will say this. I almost feel bad saying this, but I've tried most of the vegan ice creams out there from most of the, vegan companies, and there's a lot of really cool companies that I really love. But I feel like the new vegan Ben & Jerry's ice cream is like top level compared to any ice cream out there. It's like the fish food, the Americone Dream, the Tonight Dough, and the Karma. I'd never had the Karma Sutra, and I haven't had the American, but the fish food. Oh my God! It's like, what? This should be illegal. Monsieur, yeah. So you doing the McDougal, you're definitely not going to do the ice cream. All this food's it's kind of making me hungry too. I was just talking about this too. Sometimes, when you have a dream and everything sounds like awesome in the dream, then you wake up and it's either something like doable, or it's something like, why did I think that was good in my dream? Now it's not. But I had a dream the other night for a recipe, and when I woke up, I thought about it. I'm like, that's actually a good recipe. I had a dream of a recipe that I'm going to make for you guys, and hopefully it comes out good. I think it will. Thank you, dream. I've had a few dreams that were really good like that. Roger, oh, thank you for the super chat there. I appreciate that, Roger. Tommy, barbecue jackfruit burgers. I did make those a few years ago. Mike, it's called fish food. It's Phish, and it's named because Ben & Jerry's were they kind of like were in the hippie generation, and Phish, Phish, is a kind of like a hippie band, and they named it after that. They named it after the band Phish. Yeah. Well, the new 4 that Ben & Jerry's just came out with, if you're interested, I know I personally would rather, well, I I don't normally buy ice cream. I usually make my own banana ice cream. But if I were to, I would normally buy from a vegan brand. But Ben and Jerry's, they have the capabilities of doing it. That ice cream is out of this world. It's the 4 new ones that I just mentioned. I mean, they have a lot of them, but those 4 in particular have like raised the bar for vegan ice cream. Yeah, I've never seen the Brave Robot ice cream anywhere near where I am. You find yourself playing hacky sack. Fish. I think my friend's uncle knows one of the members of that band from around here. Not a moo. Yeah, that's a vegan company. Yeah, same here, Miss Sunshine. The American Dream. Although the 2 that I did try was the fish food, which best, can't believe it's even real, and then the Tonight Dough. Kroger has the Brave Robot. So I wonder if our Tops has it, because Tops is very much like Kroger. I'm wondering if they're the same parent company. But out here on the East Coast, we don't have Kroger. AJ, like I'm the opposite. If I'm going to have ice cream, I don't want it to be fruity. I want like chocolate or vanilla or peanut butter or something. Travis, do you know the name of the ice cream company or the shop in Pittsburgh? Yeah, I don't even I was a vegetarian through high school and I didn't become vegan until I had graduated. So there was still certain things I could eat, but I don't know. Oh my God, high school? So long ago. Let's change the subject. Any good shows on Netflix or Amazon or Hulu or anything that anybody wants to recommend? Nanamu Birthday Cake is one of my favorites, and then the other one that I really like is The Rockiest Road. Those 2 right there. There's a lady local in New Hampshire that makes awesome ice cream. Amanda's Ice Cream. Sounds good. Oh, and they use the maple instead of maple is a lot better for you than the straight up sugar too. Well, according to Dr. Esselstyn. Never change the subject when talking about ice cream, mon chéri. I'll remember that, my dear. You're watching The Queen's Gambit. Yeah, everybody told me to watch that. My dad, my friend's dad, everybody watch The Queen's Gambit. I'm like, it doesn't sound too good. I don't really want to watch that. So I sat down and I watched it and I binged it, and it's like the best thing I've watched in a very long time. I loved The Queen's Gambit. So if you haven't seen it yet, don't be like me and put it off. Go watch it. It's so good. I can't say how much that I really like that show. I'm actually sad that it's over. I finished WandaVision. And The Winter Soldier's coming this Friday. Nice, I'll have a new show to watch. What kind of shows do I like? I don't know, like, pretty much, I like, true crime and, cold case, serial killer stuff. But I also like, Dexter and sci-fi movies. And I love The Queen's Gambit, as I just said. What else? Breaking Bad I liked. My all-time favorite show is X-Files, but yeah, I knew that she was the girl from The Witch. I looked her up. She's in a bunch of other movies. Oh my god, it was so good. Watch it. No, I never really got into anime. I think the last anime I watched, Vegano, was when it came out, Princess Mononoke. I could name you the anime that I've seen. I've seen Akira, I've seen Princess Mononoke, and my favorite, for whatever reason, was Grave of the Fireflies. I've seen probably less than 10 anime. I've seen American Horror Story. I like that. Hellsing. No, I didn't watch that. I haven't heard of Berserk either. What's up, Gomez? Yeah, Grave of the Fireflies was heart-wrenching. So, I mean, just figure that those are the kind of things I like. I don't know. Like, I mean, some people don't. I like the movies that really evoke emotion. I think that's one of the reasons my favorite movie is E.T. But other movies that can really do that, where it leaves something with you. And I guess there's a part of my own movie that I'm going to be making that has this. If I can pull it off right, it's going to have something, because I feel like those are the most memorable movies. Some movies I can go see or watch, and then as soon as I'm done watching it, like I forget about it. Like, it's out of sight, out of mind. And other ones I'm like, oh my god, that was such a good movie. Yeah, I remember. Oh yeah. So for me, I think that's important. Cowboy Bebop. I don't know if I saw that. And I never saw Penny Dreadful either, although my friend said it was okay. It was okay to watch. Meaning it wasn't the best, but it wasn't bad. I haven't seen Coming to America, but the original Coming to America was one of my favorites when I was a kid. I'd watch that with my little brother. You get emotional over Charlie and the Chocolate. The original or the remake? Melissa, yes, I did see Parasite, and I gotta say, when I put Parasite on, I thought it was going to be something completely different. And then I saw that it was subtitled, which I don't mind subtitled movie, but at the moment I didn't want to really watch a subtitled movie, so I was like, oh man. And I just sat there for like a few minutes watching it, and I was drawn into it, and like, it was such a good movie. I loved Parasite. I'm so glad that I didn't turn it off because of the subtitles. Parasite was amazing. The cinematography, everything. Do I know Nick Gioka? No, I don't. He's vegan and obsessed with ET. Well, maybe we should talk. A Troll 2 will have you in tears from laughter with Jennifer Aniston. Can I think of any remakes that were better than the original? Yes. What did I like? What was it that I liked better than the original? The only thing that comes to my mind is a song. There's certain songs that I like better than the original. But what movie did I like better than the original? I don't know if I liked it better, but I think the remake of Day of the Dead was pretty quality. I think they did a good job with that. I can't think of it. I'll have to think of that for another one. Like, what remake did I like better than the original? All I can think of is a song. Oh, Parasite's getting a sequel? That's nice. It? You like... You know what? I didn't like it. I didn't like either one. What is Parasite? I feel like I don't want to tell you. Just watch it. Like, because I felt like I went into it not really... thinking it was going to be completely different because of the name. And I was very pleasantly surprised. It was a good movie. I didn't see the remake of Suspiria. By Dario Argento. Well, I feel like the remake of The Office was just as good, or maybe even a little bit better than the original. Although I really do love the original. I saw the original before the American one was ever a thing, but I like both of them. I like the original of The Thing. Did I see this? I don't think I saw the remake, so I don't know. But I'll tell you this right now: they better never, ever, in my lifetime redo E.T. or The Goonies or Stand By Me. I didn't, from what I saw, I think I saw parts of it. I didn't like the remake of the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I like the Gene Wilder. I've seen, I don't remember, I think maybe 5 or 6 seasons of Shameless. So I haven't finished Shameless, but I did watch a good amount of them. Yeah, Goonies is one of my favorites. They kind of redid. They didn't like straight up redo it, but they just came out with a movie that was like totally overly inspired by the Goonies, and it was like just too much. They were, instead of like giving homage to Goonies, they were like pretty much redoing exact scenes of Goonies, and Data is even in it. I like the original Let Me In and Let the Right One In too. I like the original a little bit better than the American version. Oh, no, I didn't know there was an original Shameless. I've only seen the American one. You love the song Pure Imagination. Now I got that in my head, right? Shrek is your favorite movie? That's funny. My best friend's favorite movie is Shrek. All right. Thanks for joining us, Moncheri. Oh, I definitely think that there's some movies that are better than the books too. Yeah. You liked Fight Club better than the book? Gremlins is one of my favorites as well. There's a lot of 80s movies that I love. Did anybody ever see Brewster's Millions? They should. Now there's a movie that I wouldn't be mad if they redid that one. Brewster's Millions. Because, you know, times have definitely changed. What is somebody going to do with that much money today? Am I gaming on Twitch tonight? I don't know about that. I might, you know what? I might, but I was going to do something different. I was going to try to stream chess instead of EQ. So that's a possibility. Flay the Navigator was like a favorite in my entire family. My dad loves that movie. Pee Wee Herman was the voice of the alien. Well, guys, I feel like this has been a pretty nice, productive live stream. Remember, if you wanna watch this, go over to my Twitch account, and I do Twitch. I do that regularly, and I think I might Twitch some chess, teaching Rebalancer here how to play. She just took that up last night, so that might be fun. You can join my Discord over there. She just gave the link for that, and you can watch me on Twitch. And again, if you guys are just joining right now, we just started doing movie night on Discord, which means we go into a chat room, I talk, and then I stream a movie. And the movie we streamed last week was Shaun of the Dead. So I'm going to pick a new movie for the next time, and we're going to get all in that chat room and, you know, grab your snacks, and we'll do another one. And I'll try to give like commentary throughout the movie. And we're going to be able to do that. Now, in order to be able to do that, you need to be on the either $5 or above tier of my Patreon, or you have to be a subscriber on my Twitch account. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free Twitch subscription per month. So if you have Amazon Prime and you're not subscribed to anybody else on Twitch, you can sub to my Twitch account free of charge for you because you already have Amazon Prime. And then you'll get the perks to be able to go into movie night, and you also help support my channel. So how about Quentin? I don't know that. Mozzarella cheese. No. You're into the Queen's Gambit, so chess would be cool. Do it. I'm going to teach chess. AJ, glad you enjoyed movie night. So if anybody else is interested, go over. The whole Discord channel is, you know, just, it's a place for everybody to go and chat when I'm not doing these lives, and it gives you notifications when I am live, and whether I'm going to do YouTube or Twitch or whatever. Mike, I'm not sure what day we're going to do movie night, but last week it was Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to try to probably do them around that time, 7 p.m. We just got to find a night to do it. And I'll let everybody know. I'll put it in the Discord. I'll let people know. Don't. Fake plastic trees. All right, guys. I'm going to call this the end of the stream for tonight. Glad you were all here. Remember, watch out for zombies, and we will see you guys next. Hopefully I fix my computer. Or maybe I won't be streaming because I don't think I can do it on this one with Twitch. So anyway, have a great night. and we'll see you soon.